Breaking up with a partner is difficult enough, but a whole different dimension is added when there has been or still is abuse or domestic violence involved. So tell me, Diane, what is a protection order?
Look, domestic violence, first of all, is a really sensitive and serious matter. A domestic violence protection order is an order that protects a person against domestic violence.
Yeah.
The order generally provides that the perpetrator is to be of good behaviour towards the other person and is not to commit domestic violence, but there are some orders that can be, depending on people's circumstances, a bit more specific. So, for example, that they can't come within a certain radius of a person's home. It's really important, though, that people remember that domestic violence isn't just limited also to physical violence. It can also include other things, not just violence of a physical nature.
So it's emotional abuse, things like that as well.
Absolutely. So repeated derogatory taunts that will mean a person feels intimidated or harassed, things like that. If a person, by someone else's conduct, and they may not be aware that they are doing that, but that they feel intimidated or harassed by that continuous conduct. So continual emails being derogatory, a person can feel intimidated or harassed by those sorts of things. It's not just limited to physical violence, and some people think that it simply is, but it's not. And for a protection order to be obtained, you have to prove, first of all, that there is domestic violence. And then secondly, you need to be able to show that it's necessary or it's desirable for a court to make that order.
So what sort of proof then can people start to pull together? Because obviously if you're in that sort of environment, you're not thinking of, oh, well, I should document this, but maybe what is your advice to a woman in that situation?
Look, again, it's really sensitive, so a lot of people don't document it. A lot of people don't do things, or they will sometimes make up stories for why something occurred. That in the long term doesn't assist them, because they can then be made out to be liars if they do ultimately not say what actually did happen. But people do that because they don't want to say what actually happened, because they're fearful of what may occur if they do tell the truth. And also because it is really sensitive for them and they don't want other people to know that they're going through that in their relationship. Usually things that are used is a person's own evidence, so what they have heard, what they have seen. So if someone has seen someone be abusive or commit violence, that can be evidence. The person's own personal experience, so incidents, they have to recall incidents, which is not always best for them, but they'll have to be able to mention those. And also any emails, text messages that may make threats, that may be intimidating, that may be harassing, that can also be used.
So how does it affect parenting arrangements? Because obviously that's, mum there comes out and you just want to protect your children. So how does the parenting, I forgot the name of it, the
protection
order, how does that work when it comes to parenting arrangements?
Look, it depends on everyone's circumstances. And I need to say that first of all, because every single matter is different. Even with domestic violence matters, every single matter has a different context or a different circumstances. So because depending upon those person's circumstances, there are some times where a protection order won't automatically mean that the other parent won't get time. It will be a consideration for the court. It will be one of many considerations in relation to what time children spend with the other parent, but it doesn't automatically mean, if you have a protection order, that the children will not spend time with the other parent. Like I said, though, it does depend on the circumstance, it depends on the severity, it depends on a number of factors as to what the court would consider in relation to time arrangements. So that's a really important thing for me to get across, because every single matter is really different. And like I said, it's a very sensitive area, it's a really serious area, and courts do treat it as such. But it doesn't automatically mean, if you've got a protection order, it won't automatically mean the other person won't have time with the children.
So if you're currently in a situation where domestic violence is involved towards you or your children, getting the right help and advice can not only help you get the right information, but it can also give you peace of mind about the right steps to ensure your child is safe and happy both during and following your separation. So please don't hesitate to contact Rural Family Law for legal assistance on these matters.